Today we're exploring the world's most polluted places, where air pollution isn't just an environmental issue but a daily reality. Across continents, millions inhale a cocktail of chemicals and particulates, often invisible but always harmful. These places are stark reminders of the cost of progress and the resilience of those who endure. Join me as we unveil the world's most polluted places. In the heart of Shanxi province, Linfen was once a place of natural beauty, lush, green, and teeming with life. The city's fertile fields and clear rivers made it a symbol of abundance, and for generations families thrived on the land's bounty. Locals recall a time when the air was fresh and children played freely outdoors, surrounded by the gentle sounds of nature. But everything changed when coal became king. The discovery and rapid exploitation of rich coal seams beneath Linfen soil transformed the city almost overnight. What was once a rural haven quickly became a sprawling industrial hub, its economy booming as coal-powered factories, homes, and entire regions. Yet this economic miracle came at a staggering environmental price. Today, thick, acrid haze blankets Linfen nearly every day, turning the sun into a faint orange disk and making it difficult to see even a few blocks ahead. The air is heavy with the smell of burning coal, and the city's once vibrant skyline is now shrouded in a persistent, toxic fog. Coal is the city's lifeblood, fueling thousands of factories that release torrents of soot, sulfur, and other pollutants into the air. Residents have adapted by keeping their windows tightly shut, and it's not uncommon to see children and the elderly wearing face masks year-round. Persistent coughs and respiratory problems have become a part of daily life for many. Hospitals are often overwhelmed with patients suffering from asthma, bronchitis, and other pollution-related illnesses. The city's rivers, once sources of life, now run black with industrial waste, and the soil has become so contaminated that crops struggle to grow, threatening the livelihoods of local farmers. The impact on the environment is devastating. Farmlands lie abandoned, their soil poisoned by years of toxic runoff. Wildlife that once flourished on the outskirts of Linfen has all but disappeared, leaving behind a silent, empty landscape. In recent years, the government has launched crackdowns on illegal factories and imposed stricter emission standards. Inspectors regularly visit industrial sites, and some of the worst polluters have been shut down. New pollution control equipment is being installed, but the scale of the problem means progress is painfully slow. There are glimmers of hope. Investments in solar and wind energy are rising, and new, cleaner technologies are being introduced to reduce the city's dependence on coal. These efforts offer a vision of a healthier future, but Linfen's legacy of pollution still lingers, casting a long shadow over its recovery. The people of Linfen are not silent. Environmental activists and concerned citizens have begun to speak out, demanding cleaner air and a safer environment for future generations. Their struggle is a stark warning to the world. Economic progress must be balanced with environmental stewardship, or the costs may be irreversible. Linfen's plight is not unique. Across the globe, industrial cities face similar challenges, balancing growth with the urgent need to protect the environment and public health. The story of Linfen is a mirror reflecting the struggles of countless communities worldwide. Through it all, the people of Linfen endure. They are resilient, adapting to harsh realities while holding on to hope for change. But they remain wary, acutely aware of the price they have paid for progress. As we leave Linfen, the city's coal-fueled past hangs heavy in the air, a constant reminder of the choices that shaped its destiny. The struggle for a cleaner, healthier future continues, but the scars of pollution are not easily erased. The story of Linfen urges us all to rethink the true price of industrial growth, and to consider what we are willing to sacrifice for prosperity. As we continue our journey, let's remember Linfen, not just as a city choked by coal, but as a powerful lesson in the global story of progress and its consequences. New Delhi, India's capital, is a city of contrasts, where the ancient and the modern collide every day. Home to over 30 million people, it's a vibrant metropolis teeming with life, culture, and history. But beneath the surface of its bustling streets and colorful markets, a silent crisis is unfolding, one that threatens the very air its citizens breathe. Here, ancient monuments like the India Gate and Qutub Minar rise above a sprawling city, but during winter, they're often lost in a thick, choking smog. The haze blurs the lines between past and present, casting a shadow over Delhi's rich heritage. The causes are complex and interconnected. Every year, Farmers in neighboring states burn crop stubble, sending plumes of smoke drifting into the city. Add to this the relentless traffic, millions of vehicles pumping exhaust into the air, plus dust from endless construction and emissions from factories. Together, they create a toxic cocktail, with pollution levels sometimes soaring to 20 times the World Health Organization's safe limits. The consequences are immediate and severe. Schools are forced to close, grounding the hopes of young students. Flights are delayed or canceled as visibility drops. Hospitals overflow with patients suffering from asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory illnesses. For many, simply stepping outside becomes a health risk. In this new reality, masks and air purifiers are no longer optional. They're daily essentials. Parents worry about their children's health, as young lungs are especially vulnerable to the invisible dangers lurking in the air. Playgrounds and parks, once filled with laughter, now echo with caution. Even Delhi's most iconic landmarks, India Gate, the Red Fort, are often hidden behind a curtain of gray. The city's identity, etched in stone and memory, is slowly being obscured by pollution. Yet amid these daunting challenges, the spirit of Delhi refuses to be broken. Residents adapt, finding ways to carry on with daily life, their resilience shining through the haze. Markets remain lively, and communities come together to support one another. Activists, scientists, and policymakers are working tirelessly to find solutions. From vehicle rationing schemes and bans on firecrackers to the introduction of cleaner public transport like CNG buses, efforts are underway to reclaim the city's air. Public rallies and awareness campaigns urge citizens to join the fight for clean air, but Delhi's rapid growth and urban expansion often outpace these interventions. The city's population continues to swell, construction booms, and the demand for resources rises, making the road to clean air a long and difficult journey. Each year, as the smog thickens, the call for change grows louder. Citizens, young and old, take to the streets demanding action and accountability. The movement for clean air is gaining momentum, fueled by hope and determination. New Delhi's struggle is not just a local issue, it's a reflection of a global crisis. Air pollution knows no borders, drifting across regions and continents, affecting millions beyond the city's limits. The fight for clean air demands global cooperation and innovative solutions. As Delhi battles for its future, it stands as a powerful reminder that the air we share connects us all, and that the time to act is now. Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia's capital, faces brutal winters and deadly air pollution from coal burning. In Jur districts, families burn raw coal for warmth, filling the city with dense, choking smog. Cold air traps pollutants, making Ulaanbaatar one of the world's most polluted capitals in winter. Hospitals overflow with respiratory cases and children's health is especially at risk. The government has banned raw coal and subsidized cleaner fuels, but many can't afford alternatives. The challenge is economic and social, balancing tradition, survival, and clean air. Yet community groups and young activists push for greener policies and hope. Ulaanbaatar's struggle shows that air pollution affects even the most remote, resilient communities. Once celebrated as Pakistan's vibrant cultural heart, Lahore now finds itself shrouded in a relentless winter smog that refuses to lift. The city's rich history and lively streets are increasingly overshadowed by a thick, gray haze that settles in for weeks at a time, transforming daily life for millions. This toxic fog is born from a perfect storm of human activity: farmers burning leftover crops, endless streams of vehicles spewing exhaust, factories and brick kilns pumping out smoke. Each source adds another layer to the pollution, creating a dense blanket that chokes the city and its people. Lahore's unique geography, with its low-lying terrain and surrounding farmlands, acts like a bowl, trapping these pollutants and making the crisis even more severe. The city's rapid growth and urban sprawl only add to the challenge, as more emissions are funneled into the same confined space. As the smog thickens, visibility drops dramatically. Schools are forced to close, disrupting education for thousands of children. Even Lahore's iconic landmarks, like the majestic Badshahi Mosque, fade into the background, hidden behind a curtain of pollution. The health consequences are dire. Hospitals report alarming spikes in asthma attacks and respiratory infections, especially among the city's most vulnerable, children and the elderly. For many, simply stepping outside becomes a risk to their well-being. Authorities have responded by restricting crop burning and tightening regulations on vehicle and industrial emissions. Yet enforcing these rules across such a sprawling metropolis is a constant struggle, with limited resources and widespread non-compliance. Economic pressures often outweigh environmental concerns. For many families, the need to earn a living means continuing practices that contribute to the smog, even as they suffer its effects. Still, hope persists. Community groups work tirelessly to raise awareness, distributing face masks and educating neighbors. Young innovators are developing affordable air purifiers, determined to make clean air accessible to all. Artists and poets lend their voices to the cause, painting murals and reciting verses that call for change. Their work reminds everyone of Lahore's hidden beauty and the possibility of a cleaner, brighter future. The smog crisis highlights the deep connections between rural and urban life. The actions of farmers, city dwellers, and industries are all intertwined, showing that only through cooperation can Lahore hope to clear its skies. The fight for clean air is both a local and a global challenge, one that demands action, innovation, and unity from every corner of society. Norilsk, deep in the Arctic Circle, is home to one of the world's largest mining complexes, and a legacy of relentless pollution. Factories release sulfur dioxide and heavy metals, staining snow and poisoning soil. Respiratory illnesses are common, and life expectancy is lower than the Russian average. Rivers run red and black, and wildlife has all but disappeared. The city's isolation has compounded decades of unchecked emissions. The mining company now pledges billions to reduce emissions, but the damage is immense. Norilsk's story is a sobering reminder of the true cost of industrial progress. Pollution knows no boundaries, not of geography nor of time. Cairo, vibrant and historic, faces a silent threat: air pollution from traffic, industry, and desert dust. Millions of vehicles and factories fill the air with exhaust and chemicals, while Sahara winds add fine dust. The city's skyline is often veiled in haze, and respiratory illnesses are common. Government initiatives target vehicle emissions and promote public transport, but rapid growth outpaces progress. Informal settlements and limited access to clean fuels worsen the problem. Still, residents adapt, using plants to filter air, carpooling, and advocating for greener policies. Cairo's battle is one of resilience and ingenuity woven into the city's culture. Los Angeles, famed for its glamour, still struggles with persistent smog. Geography traps pollutants, and millions of cars add to the city's infamous haze. Industrial facilities and ports worsen air quality, especially during hot, dry summers. Children and the elderly are most vulnerable, and asthma rates remain high. Yet, Louisiana has made progress. Stricter emissions standards and electric vehicles have improved air quality since the 1970s. Climate change and wildfires threaten to undo these gains, and disparities persist between neighborhoods. LA's story is one of progress and persistence. Change is possible, but the fight for clean air is never over. Every city, no matter how advanced, must remain vigilant. The world's most polluted places are urgent reminders of our shared challenges. Air pollution knows no borders. It affects health, environment, and future. The journey to cleaner air begins with awareness, but must end with action. Together we can inspire change and ensure a